And we are cooking with grease right now, boys and girls. What is going on? I am still getting set up. As you all know, as you probably saw, the show started a little later, much later than what normal. And so I had a family engagement I had to get to. My daughter had a play and she was in it. And so, you got to do the family first thing, and then everything else follows after that. So yeah, man. Hope you guys are having a good and we are just kicking this bad boy back up. Man, oh man. So I'm jumping into the comments. Appreciate you guys jumping in here. Let's see here. Go ahead and do a quick roll call. We got Mountain RC was number one. Even though I started the show later, he was still number one. Followed by 3120 Downforce. What's going on? Iron Mover. Good to have you in here. Keith Dunn. What's going on? Man, oh man. Let's see here. Then we got Winston Brown in here. And Silver Fox, what's going on? He says, hey, everybody. My apologies for the game a few weeks ago. Didn't realize rules until the end. It won't happen again. Oh, dude, no problem at all, man. You were just having fun. We don't take it personal over here. It is no big deal. Bill Wagner, what's going on, man? 80Ks RC. Good to have you in here. All right, all right. Man, we're just filing in here. First and foremost, want to tell you guys happy freaking Thursday. You made it again through another Thursday. Always excited to have that. And, man, anytime you can get in and, get to the end of the week, we got, a couple more hours left of this Thursday, and then we'll be easing into the Friday, which eases us into the nice weekend. And the weather's looking halfway decent over here in North Carolina, guys. So it looks like we'll be able to get some good flights in, that kind of thing. So with everything that is going on, it should be pretty good. I'm just jumping into comments over here and reading what you guys are saying. We got a couple of things to talk about, man. Hobby King came out with some pretty cool airplanes. Talking about the Rare Bear, that one came out as well. And so we're going to dive on into that one and see exactly what you guys think. One cool thing about Hobby King is I can always say they have always been original with their airplanes, no matter what they do, what they have, always been original. So that's always been a cool thing about them. They've always brought airplanes out that were a little bit different. That I really appreciated that too. So let me take a look at here. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but it looks like Need for Speed RC, he says it. He says the Hobby King Rare Bear is super fun. Highly recommend. The gold scheme is at least 10-ish faster than the green one. That's right. So sometimes paint jobs can make airplanes look a little bit faster than what they're going, right? So we've got that going on, but yeah, let's go on. And we got the rest of the crew coming on a little bit later. They were all hitting me up on the phone, wondering where I was at, that kind of thing. And I was like trying to rush to get here. It pushed over a little bit later, but never fear, we're here. Better later than never. So that's what we got going on. So let's take a look at this Rare Bear, guys, and let me see what you guys think about this thing, because the Rare Bear is an actual pretty decent airplane. But this little guy looks faster than your average bear. So we're going to take a look at it right here. We got Stuart Warren there. This video is brought to you by Hobby King, which, I am affiliated with. Those guys are really good over there, and I really appreciate them. So let's take a look at it.
Now, whilst we're talking about motor, you'll notice, the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice the propeller. And I can give you a readout.
So you can see that thing's running on a 1.1 and a 2.2.
Be able to get some real speed data as well.
So let's see here. So
let's talk a little bit
it's
about
a good size airplane, right? That's not bad. I've always looked at those and I've always wanted one, but I was like, I don't know, man. It's so small. And then you can see Turnigy has that that radio that they just came out with.
How it comes out the box.
So, let's pop this bad boy out and let's look and see how it goes.
At its perspective, I will say it's fine.
If you have the Spectrum PS3X receiver, it has hand lock.
And you got the sun glare.
This would be a good candidate for that one right
there. Anyway,
we'll do our best. Here we go.
Launching with the
underhand toss, this one, which is pretty interesting. So that shows you the power. Look at that power right there. If you can do that with an airplane, that's got plenty of power.
Look at that climb.
And if you've never had any of these little smaller, toss and balls airplanes, they're a ton of fun.
Rather slowly. just so you can appreciate it.
And there's one guy out there on
Come
YouTube
on,
saying that this thing did 170 miles an
Yeah, I
hour.
haven't
When the sun shines on it, it's so
Crazy
bright.
It
fast,
does.
right?
Yeah, well,
Really
I haven't
well.
opened up at all yet. No,
And he hasn't even gotten to the speed yet. So we're sitting here looking at it.
pass, get an indication of the colours there. Look at
Let's
that,
see
very
here.
nice. Watch the vertical
Yep.
again. Look at that climb out. Now, this is something I like.
Plenty of unlimited vertical on that little guy. The only problem with the small planes like that is they're small. Very difficult to see them.
Does it very nicely.
Look at that, man.
Let go of the sticks. Comes out of that.
Went on out of it really
All I did
nicely.
is let go of the sticks and then.
And one thing I like about these little small airplanes is they're affordable, man. In this day and age of everything's elevated prices, it's nice to see these little smaller airplanes that can get you near and you can still fly.
So I'll climb up a bit. I'm going to do a
I just
slight
want to see
dive
how
in this one.
fast
It
he
isn't
goes
quite
on
a
this
strong
thing.
headwind. Here we
And hats
go.
off to the cameraman for being able to track this little guy.
Stock
Here we
set
go.
up on the Durafly Rare Bear.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's quick.
That was 105 miles an hour.
105 miles an hour. He's got a
There we go.
yes in that thing.
105. Now into a strong wind, like I said.
Find it again. There it is.
Slight, are we good? Slight dive on that. So now
That
let's
was on
just
a
do
slight
downwind,
dive,
just
so
for the sake of prosperity.
But you put that thing in a steep dive,
Slight
you
diving
really get
pass,
it. All right, here we go.
downwind. Here we go. This is on the forest setup.
Let's see what he's gonna get.
Woo! And we have there 126.
126
Yeah.
miles an hour out of that
Now
little
the
one,
wind
guys.
is about.
That's
it's gonna
fast.
Be a good 15 miles an hour or so.
You know, that's pretty quick.
Wind, or if there's not that opportunity, you'll see it for
And
yourself.
he's gonna
when
bring
you
it
get
in
one
for
anyway.
landing there.
It'll be in
Pretty
stock.
impressed with that Turnigy radio, honestly.
See what we're
You
found
know,
right now. Yeah, it's easy
everybody
enough to
says
get.
it's like an FR Sky
And
clone,
we'll
I
do a
guess, or it's
full
made by
dive
FR Sky.
down
I don't know if
the
that's true or
path
not. I can't confirm or deny that.
Woo!
That thing's
See what the
cooking.
speed is.
Maybe we'll see how he brings it in for landing. Obviously, it
Power
doesn't
off.
have flaps,
And I'm
so
gonna, drifting a bit.
but it
So
slows
just
down nicely. Look at that.
flare.
I'm
Yeah.
a fan.
Is it
I'm a
skipped along?
fan.
I'll just remember this is just the optional 6S prop. The model is the same as the green one.
He said 6S.
This is the optional 6S with the dummy motor removed.
Oh wow, that's a
Thanks for calling.
6S. I
Gonna
didn't
be
even know they
around
even
3
make that on
minutes at a push
6S.
on
That's
this,
crazy.
Size 6S pack. All right,
That
ready?
is unreal. If
Launching.
that thing is on 6S, I had no idea. I thought it was just 4S.
A little bit of right, a little bit of
Let's
up.
take a look. Oh, it's going with his mouth. That's interesting.
And away she goes. Just needs a little bit of
If
trim.
that's on 6S, that's crazy. Oh, that's definitely 6S. You hear that?
Crosswind. 6S.
Yep. Oh my
that
gosh.
sound. 123 miles an hour there, crosswind.
That was
on the
123.
6S Rare Bear. And again.
Let's see.
Woo!
That's fast.
Nice.
It's, I think you were saying, Andres, weren't you? It's the sound more than anything.
Oh yeah,
It's-
that screaming is just.
That
it's
is
really
fast.
fantastic.
When you hear that,
All right.
that prop ripping like that, wow.
That was on low rates. Gonna come around and do a 6S power loop already. Full power.
That is unreal.
Big as you like.
The fact that thing is on 6S is crazy.
Oh, it sounds good.
Jeez.
Nice.
And that's
Easy
pretty
off the
small.
throttle there.
You
Now
see
that's
that
the
long
thing.
dart
Let's
straight
bring it
in.
a little closer because you can slow it down just as easily. Airframe flies very nicely at slow speeds.
Wow.
Let
That
you
is
appreciate that color because this is the. I was still on my my 4S timer, which is set to 4 minutes.
Good guy.
So actually, I'm at
Done a lot of good
3.5
things for
minutes
that,
now
for the hobby.
on the 6S.
So we got 125
that?
miles an hour on 6S on the GPS.
Yeah, now that was the fast.
That's pretty impressive, guys. So, yeah, hope y'all like that real quick. So we're going to jump into that. What do y'all think? I'm jumping to the comments over here, and we're going to see what's going on, Shay. How are you doing? Let's see here. I'm jumping in there. We're going to see. He says flying was good for all of that. The field. Mountain RC said the dude that got 160 miles an hour upgraded to 6S. Man, that's crazy. I didn't know if you could run that thing on 6S or what. That's wild. And also, you get to a point where it's so fast that you're kind of like, what? Is it worth it or not, right? Let's see here. Jumping into the comments. Need for Speed says, you can use a 7x5.5 prop, which is not available yet for 6S. I used the prop from the EFX Racer, and it was amazing. Stock ESC motor, just needs 6S. That's crazy how fast that thing is. So it really does rip, guys. It really does rip. And that's just a good flyer right there. Like you can't You can't go wrong with that. And so I'm trying to see. Let me see how much that little guy's running right now, because I think that is a steal of a deal, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is. And that one right now is going for, oh man, 169 bucks. That's crazy. That's a great deal for that airplane. So I'll share that screen with you guys so you can kind of see it. But the Rare Bear right there, check that out. 169 bucks. That radio he was using, it's an X14, so we know that's definitely, and the antenna right there. Yeah, for 185, you can't beat that. I don't know if people are going to trust it or not, but I don't think it's a bad one. I know a lot of guys that fly on these DSMX orange receivers, and they've had no problems. But for that price, that's awesome. I think that's good, especially this day and age. And if the tariffs weren't that bad, this would probably be even lower, probably like 129 or something like that. And so they got a host of parts. That's always good. One of these things, when you order an airplane like this, you want to get a couple of batteries, and you definitely want to get a couple of props for sure, right? And at those prices, I always normally get like one or two. So that's actually not a bad idea. And it's got the FR Sky dual receiver, so that lets you know, like I said earlier, suspecting that this is possibly maybe a FR Sky guts made for Turnigy kind of deal going on. Not sure, but that's quality. That's straight quality right there. So hope you guys enjoy that. So we're going to take a look at that. And that one's ready to ship, boys and girls. Let's see. Let's see here. Jumping in there. Downforce says 2 months from now, it'll go on sale and cost $123. I think you're right. I honestly do. I think prices are going to completely drop, and then it's going to be pretty nice. Big shout out to Hamilton's Hangar, by the way. If you guys need anything, any cool logos made, this is your guy to do it. He made this right here. This is just a cool logo. You could take this chain off and hang it up as your background logo. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Hamilton's Customs right there, you got him in the upper right-hand corner. He makes good quality stuff, and he is a resident of the channel, my friend. So certainly appreciate him. Local guy, got to help him out, man. And he's always, helped myself out, and RC Pilot will as well. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Let's see here. So the next up we're going to go with is we are going to talk about RC airplanes, which everybody should have. What is one RC airplane you guys think everybody should have? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you. We all know it's going to be a timber, right? I don't know which kind of timber it is, but I would say the turbo timber is a great example of one airplane everybody should have. And you're probably thinking, why would I want a turbo timber? Like, why out of all the airplanes? And I'll tell you, if you get the turbo timber Evo, you can fly that thing in anything. So I'm going to jump into the comments and see exactly what you guys say. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Louis Motorsport says the L39. Which L39 are you talking about? Oh, and he clarifies it. The Fly Fans L39. Brought to you by bananahobby.com. I have one, and believe it or not, I have that L39 by Fly Fans in my garage, and I actually put a gyro in that little thing. And I'm going to do a video on it because I'm going to start doing some videos of these airplanes that I love so much and with gyros in them, so you guys can see exactly how good these airplanes fly with these very inexpensive gyros that you can get off of Amazon, which are our Hobby Wing, and which are the A3 Eagles, and they're phenomenal. In this day and age, like I said before, where we're buying AS3X receivers, it is very convenient, very easy, but those receivers are $100. And so an alternative is getting one of the lemon receivers with one inside. But I found it to be easier to even just get the old school kind, just like this little guy right here. Let's see here. Let me pull this thing out. Yep, there it is. The little Eagle right here. This is the A3 Super 4. These things are bulletproof. They are absolutely magnificent. They work well in pretty much most platforms, if not all. So let's jump into it. So let's see. A Stoll Cub. You got to have a good Stoll Cub. I would agree. Stoll Cub is not a bad thing to have. Downforce says a B-1 bomber. Now that's an interesting airplane. Not a bad airplane to have, but they do fly really good. The C-17 is a good one too. I think that's okay. Let's see here. Yeah, man, NEL 39 is pretty much good to go, is what we're saying. Nothing wrong with that. He said the best 64 millimeter. Bill Wagner, what's going on? He says a T-28 1.1 Trojan, cheap 3 to 4S fun, fast flyer all day long. And you're absolutely right. That Trojan, even the Horizon Hobby Trojan, is such a great flying airplane, guys. I mean, the thing flies so good, and it's just a well-mannered airplane. I mean, it'll do anything you want it to. It'll fly any way you want it to, and it will never let you down. It's just a good flying airplane, and a lot of people like it. So stay tuned to that, man. We're going to keep moving forward on this thing because that's a good easy flyer, and they're inexpensive. They're so inexpensive. RC Flying Veteran said, "What's going on?" He said, "Don't sleep on that Aero Scout. The Aero Scout is a phenomenal flying airplane. If you ask RC Pilot Will, tell you, man, he's got one of those things, and those things fly really good. Those Aero Scouts are a fun little airplane, and I've seen people take the motors off of them, switch them up, and they put something nice on them, and they fly the heck out of them." I would have to agree with Eddie KRC. He said the Avanti V2. The Avanti V2 is by far one of my favorite airplanes. I think that is one airplane that everybody should definitely have in their hangar. I would agree. One thing I'm going to do with that Avanti, guess what? I'm going to throw a gyro in it again, and I'm going to see exactly how good that thing flies. I put a gyro in this JS39, and we're going to talk about this one right here, but it's a phenomenal looking airplane. So, and Louis Motorsports says best for price, strong retracts, 4+ minute flight times on a 3300. It can rotate off of grass. It's got reverse thrusts. It's got flaps. Come on, guys, all day long, and it's got lights. Like, what more do you want out of an airplane, right? I'm telling you, you guys are tracking pretty good. Dunstan Henry, he agreed. He said the L39 with the A3 Super 4, boom, that's what we got right here. Flies like it's on rails. Let's see. Keith Dunn said the Carbon Cub, the 1.3 meter. Yeah, that Carbon Cub is just a bulletproof airplane. Solid, solid. Mountain RC said the F-22, the 70 millimeter, the 80 millimeter, and the 90 millimeter F-22. Plane would be a P-47, either from FMS or Horizon. I would say I really like the FMS P-47. That's a monster of an airplane, and it looks pretty good. So I'm all for that one. We got Shazami. What's going on? He says, "What do you think about the Yak 11 by Hobby King?" I love that thing. And if you go into my channel and you look into some of the videos that I've done, you'll find that the Yak 11 is actually a phenomenal flyer. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Good to have you, buddy.
That was the hardest thing I have ever done, was get my computer to finally work.
Hey, welcome to my world, dude. Look, I
got a new phone, and then everything wanted to try and have to reconnect. Oh my goodness, it was awful.
Hey, look, hey, I literally was like trying to rush to get here because, you know, man, the little play ran over, and I was like, great, now I gotta, I'm trying to hurry up and get this thing up and running, and trying to get on to the live show and get it all up and running, and it's just one of those things,
Yeah,
you can only do but so much.
We run late, but we have fun, right?
We definitely have fun. I'm telling you, we do. So, but Jeremy, glad to have you onto the channel. Yeah, glad to have you onto the channel, man. You came in right on time, my friend.
It works.
So it definitely does.
Well,
so
what are we talking about? What's the topics for today?
Man, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. We're talking about the Yak 11. We're talking about Mountain RC and the him having the F-22s, the 70, the 80, and the 90 millimeters. We're talking about actually which airplanes, we recommend. Like, what is one airplane that you should have in your hangar, right? Just one. If you could only take one airplane with you, what would you take? What would you take?
I take all kinds of planes. I don't know. Shoot. I like the FMS F-86. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the F-86, that is an excellent flyer. Yeah. And not only is it excellent, but it looks great. It's a good-looking bird.
I think that's a great airplane. Let's see. I enjoy the T7 Red Hawk that we sell.
Yep. The FMS Bayhawk. You can't go wrong with the FMS Bayhawk, man. That thing's a monster.
The Freewing A-10s. I only had the version 1, but they're always a good airplane to have.
What do you think about the version 2 A-10s? You think they're worth it? You think the difference in power, slime lights,
No.
upgraded retract?
Well, I don't
What's the
know.
price?
Okay. I think the lights is what makes
cool.
the airplane,
Yeah.
but they got it wrong. So
How'd they get it wrong? What do you think?
they're blue.
Yeah, the blue slime lights. Yeah.
Do a version 3 and make them green, and you guys will have it great.
I mean, that's one thing I didn't understand. I was like, they're blue. You were so close to getting it green. Why not? Right? Like, why?
yeah,
what happened?
I don't get it. That
So-
would have been something that back when we were testing the airplanes or whatnot, we would have said, no, that's
Right.
not right. So
Look, downforce.
yeah, there you go.
31
Let's see. We're talking about the C-17 from Banana Hobby and a possible 50 millimeter B1.
Huh. A 50 millimeter B1? I never heard of that. I never thought about that. Huh. A 50 millimeter B1. Where would that come from, right? Like where? I don't know. That's a little different.
I don't know who makes 50 millimeter B1s.
Man, I tell you what, I don't know, but I know X-Fly
Kind of a
likes
neat
it.
little thing I've been trying out.
What is that? What you got right there?
This is a crashed B1 that I put. Bad story. I put a dead battery in there, and my buddy and I went to fly together, B1s together, and we're flying around great. And all of a sudden, he's like, "I don't have power."
That's a pain. That's a terrible feeling.
I accidentally put a dead battery in the airplane. And I'm not trying to throw my son under the bus.
Do it.
But when we go to the field, we have a routine.
Yes.
And the routine is dead batteries go a set spot, good batteries in another spot.
I do the same thing.
And somehow a dead battery got into the good spot. Lesson learned is check your batteries before you fly.
That's it.
And you won't have a crashed airplane, no matter what it is.
You only do it once or twice before you realize that your system that you have is not working, and you need to do it better.
Yeah, I got a little complacent. Essentially, is what it was, and it bit me in the butt.
Oh yeah.
And now I have airplane parts to do random little weird things like trying out some 40 mils inside, like trying to do Tailor-ons,
right?
So in a bad situation, I'm trying to make it into a good situation. So I have 5 B1s now, not 6.
Understood. So you've got 5 B1s and not 6.
So what happened?
Well,
you got 5 B1s and not what? I walked in the tail end of that.
Yeah, you walk dead into that thing right there.
We crashed one. My buddy Sean flew one into the sunset. We'll just say that.
Well,
it flew away.
Hey,
no,
by the way,
battery in.
Look, I'm going to beat somebody to the question because I know they're going to ask Jeremy this question, and so I'm going to go ahead and ask for you. Here we go. Look at this. Everybody's like, "Where's the J20?" By the way, this video is brought to you by Hobby Intelligence Agency. So check this out. This should be pretty good, and we're just going to take a quick look at it. Look at this.
Who's asking this? What plane is this one?
I don't know. What's that look like?
The J20, but definitely not ours.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hello， 大家好，我是耗子。长空之
Ours is right here.
这个确实抛开
Yeah.
特效不说啊，这确实
That's very
非
small.
常非常好。
But look at this. So somebody has one in production, but that looks tiny, and it doesn't look right, right? Look at it, and it's got fixed landing gear.
就是我感觉这架飞机
Not only that, but look at all the gap in the mold by the landing gear.
Yeah,
do you want to know what that looks like to me?
这么高，所以如果有 PNP 的话
10 years ago, LX airplane.
It definitely. Look at it. It looks like an LX airplane. It looks.
That's what it looks like.
It looks very, very janky. But take a look at it. I mean,
you can see the balsa exposed by the canards.
Right.
Oh.
And you can take a look at it.
Know about this.
Look at that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Did it take off twice?
Yeah, it hit the ground and skipped.
It just depends what you're counting, Will.
That's right. But you can definitely see it right there. I thought that was pretty interesting for you guys to see that one, though. So,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah.
ours is significantly different.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't buy that for $40.
I'm saying the same thing. Louis Motorsport says,
that.
"Is that a twin
Look at that
40?"
aluminum gear. No gaps there.
Right.
Yeah. Did you see the size of the gaps by the gear? That was just a big pocket for drag, man.
You saw that?
Drag.
That looks like those $100 little toss and boss.
It does.
Whatever planes where they've got the Raptor and the 35.
It does. It's what's going on, the Flint. How are you doing, man? Let's see. Need for Speed says, hold up. Can we back up? So Banana Hobby is releasing a twin 40 B1?
No, not
now,
that I know of.
Yeah.
Or
that kind of looked like a bootleg J20. I mean, it looked like it was like a bootleg J20. It didn't even look right, So let's see here. Louis Motorsport says, I'm just save up for a good old twin 70 J20 y'all releasing. I've seen some videos online though where people are actually they're flying that one. It looks like it's one from another competitor, but it seems like it's might be okay. I don't know. Let's see here. He says that 3120 started rumors about the B1.
The Fans one?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there's a person that has one that got a China version that was an early start.
Right.
How do I explain that? Essentially, it does not have the settings and the programs and the gyro and the updates that we did on the version that will be coming through Banana Hobby.
Gotcha. Okay.
Without trying to go too much into it, because we don't want to be highlighting buying from China, because that's just pointless when you're not going to get the best of the best level of updates. That's just stupid.
That I understand. I definitely understand that.
But the dude was touting that he was on a version 3 controller.
Wow.
Well,
what is that right there, my friend? Let's take a look at that.
See, there's a version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's 2 more and 2 airplanes.
Oh man, so they're not getting the proper stuff.
We've been doing updates to make the thing perfect. So
yeah, so they're not getting the true update.
We want it to act the way we want it to act. We want it to have the motions, all the special features that the airplane should have. And the only way that they can do that stuff is updating controllers. And we have been knocking it out of the park. We've been testing it like crazy. And if you are patient, you wait, you will have a great airplane. So,
there you have it.
That's my thoughts.
There you have it, guys. So, let's see. Bill Wagner says, same, super cool, both same. No one makes a nice one. So I'm telling you, man, look, Mountain RC says, if it doesn't have the Stoltz stamp of approval, it's a no-go to me. It is nice having him.
And like we said, with Mountain out there, Mountain's seen this plane being tested out, at his field. We've gone all over to fly this plane. And even though when he saw it, it was close. It was so close to being perfect, but it wasn't. And we still delayed it because we're trying to make it perfect. And so far, as of right now, the airplane is perfect. We've been flying the crap out of it, and it's awesome. So,
well,
I'm gonna send you a video. We're gonna give you one more video, Bobby. So, do you want it through Messenger?
Yeah, send it through Messenger. Let me pull it up real quick, because we love those videos, man. We're all about that. But that video life. Let me see here. There's Jeremy. I got Jeremy right here. I'll send you a quick message. And then after that, we're going to take a look at another new airplane that came to market that I'm excited to share with you guys. So I'm just waiting on Jeremy to send that. I just sent you a message. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just making sure that the video is the right one, so you guys don't have music on there.
That's right. Oh yeah, I got to tell you, I got a copyright strike, and found out that it was a fake one somebody did from another competitor YouTube channel. He doesn't know that I know this, but I know exactly who he is, and I know exactly what he did, and he had to be ashamed of himself. Absolutely. So, and he's going to keep messing around. He's going to catch a lawsuit. Absolutely. There's a lot more to it.
We know exactly who.
I'm telling you. Yeah, he's going to play around. Absolutely.
All right. So context on this that you're going to be seeing. Essentially, I'm running a 5,000 milliamp hour pack in there, or a Ma.
Ma.
But essentially, the airplane, we are running it through the ringer. We've been having lots of pilots fly it, not just myself. We've had several pilots. And we want an opinion based on more than just myself. But the airplane, we believe, is ready, and we should be having it on the way here soon. So,
all right. Well, here we
are.
Enjoy
it. So,
all right.
This is the fun. You ready?
Yep. I got the video keyed up and everything. Here we go. Let's see here.
All right.
What's going on, Yegs? Good to have you into the show. We're going to share this video real quick. All right, boys and girls, here we go. Check out this video. And away we go. Music.
Look on.
Man, listen to that thing.
Look at this vertical.
What? Dude, that thing's crazy vertical.
That thing is maxed.
Look at that.
All right, coming right back at us. This is idle off. No throttle on the way back.
Things over there doing super cruise. Wow. Does it fly heavy? Does it feel heavy when you're flying it?
Look at this vertical. It does not feel heavy. It has, man, it really has a different thing. Is max. Just a different feel. All right. So, I've flown the Rafales, the Eurofighters. I've flown the J-20. I've flown, what other Canard airplanes are out there?
Man.
Well, not even just Canards, like the Mirages, things like that, right?
Right.
This vertical. It has a very long feel.
That makes sense.
You can feel that the airplane is like a broomstick with wings. I mean, it's got a long feel. It has the good feel tendencies that the F-104 has.
That's right.
So, when you're cooking with that plane and when you're doing everything on there, the thing's absolutely amazing. However, the thing absolutely lands beautiful. You pop it into high alpha and it just sits super, super beautiful. And so it's ready, I think. So we have told them that it's ready, that we like what we're seeing, and to make the airplane. And so we are hoping we can get some tariffs down so you're not paying crazy prices for an awesome airplane.
That's
but
right.
if you do have to pay crazy prices, you're still getting an awesome airplane. So
that's what we're looking for.
But again, if you don't wait and you try and go through China, you are not getting a tried and true tested airplane that has definite modifications to it that they're not going to send you. So
3120 downforce says, Stolt, fly the old Banana LX SG-47. Did you ever fly that one?
Did I ever fly it, or have I? I have not flown it. I never had that one. I had. Shoot, let's take this back.
Man, exactly. Well, look,
man, I gotta think. Okay, I had probably 8 to 10 of the F-16s. Man. Why? Because man, they were super awesome back when.
Yeah.
But the spring-loaded doors and the no thrust tubes, you had to stop the throttle.
Oh yeah.
Then let the gear come out and then go again. I mean, those things. I had the F4 Phantom. I had the Raptor that they had. When you got that thing set up right and fixed all the weird servo problems, and that was one of the lightest, most acrobatic F-22s I have ever had, and it was fun as heck until a battery died.
Wow. Yeah. Well, guys, check this
Man.
out, by the way. While we're talking about airplanes, a new turbine came out by Horizon Hobby, the T45. Did y'all see that? Did y'all hear
Yeah.
about
No, I
that?
didn't see that.
It's
I didn't
actually
know.
It's
Here
in the
you go.
exact
Potentially
same
Horizon.
theme of my son's custom airplane.
It is. It absolutely is. But check this out.
I was like, what the?
$2,700 for the ARF, or you can get one for $3,000 with the gear, and you can go up to what, $4,000 with the turbine. 140 Newton to a 160 Newton bird. Look, it's a great looking bird, but
Balsa,
I'm
right?
wondering how it flies, if it's lighter or what, you know.
Is it balsa or is it composite?
Well, that's a good question, because I don't know. And so let's see here. Well, not a lot of information on that, is it? Let's see here.
Good size bird.
Specs overview. Here we go. This I do like the size of it, by the way. It looks like it's like composite. Nope. It's carbon fiber reinforced balsa and plywood.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm out.
So definitely not a terrible thing for an entry level airplane. Airframe or
I would not put a composite, or sorry, not a composite, a balsa airplane in a turbine, because everybody's going to find the max. Everybody wants to fly them at 200 miles an hour. I mean,
yeah, you can't do that. You got to have some restraint. You know what I mean? But yeah,
sorry, Hamilton.
I have the BAE Hawk, and it's balsa.
I'm just not a fan of an all balsa airplane. I just can't do it.
Look, I like the way it looks. It looks good, man. It's not a bad looking bird. There's some pretty decent detail.
It's pretty scaled out.
It is very scaled out. And one thing I like about the Hawk over the T45 is that you don't have the slats.
That had a weird look to the side. Go back to that side view again.
Right here?
One more.
You know what I don't like, though? You know what I don't like?
They look a little bit further forward than they should be.
It's that,
or is that just me? Am I? Oh no, never mind.
I don't like.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
The wing is.
Yeah, it's right here. Man. It's slanted. It looks good though.
My screen is further away from me than I thought, but it's a great scheme. My son has flown that scheme for the last couple of years. It shows up really well.
Yeah.
With the dark blue wingtips. Yeah.
And that's a good size turbine too. A 140 and up.
I think that's a 45, right? Or what does it say? Go to the specs. What does it say in there for the purchase of the airplane? Had an option. I think it said a 45.
It's 140 to a 160.
That's a big plane.
It is. Look, it is huge. Look at it.
It's a good size plane.
If it's got a 140, it's a big plane. I mean, we're pushing some heavy airplanes.
Yeah, that is a good size plane. Yeah, 140 to a 160.
Yeah, it's a 140. Okay, I saw T45 and I thought K45.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of juice.
See, I'm looking at a difference, and I'm like, but anyway.
By the time it's said and done, you're going to put $1,000 jet.
Yeah, look at it. It's a $5,500 jet on the entry level if you get a 160 G4, which that right there is not a bad price for all of it. Really, airplane's about $3,000.
You got to throw the taxes on that, so that's about $6,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's true. But that's just with the airplane. That's not even with the
pre-order right there. Says
so it's about a $7,000 airplane once it's all said and done.
Yeah, $7,000 to $8,000 airplane.
Like the gear and all that.
Yeah, it comes with the gear at $3,000. I guess it doesn't here.
Yeah, but is that installed? It looks like they're showing it as separate.
It looks separate. It doesn't look like it's installed. That's for sure. Let's see here. Well, you know what?
Sorry if I look like I'm getting too close to the screen. I'm trying to look at the computer and see this at the same time.
Here we go. We're going to meet this real quick. And you take a look at it. This one's brought to you by Horizon Hobby, guys. This is a good video. Let's take a look at it. We'll skip around on it. I like the T45 is good, but I will say you got to be careful in them turns, buddy. It's got a nasty little stall. You get it slow enough, and I've experienced it with mine.
know, Bobby. That's pretty big.
Oh, it's a big
Are
bird.
are the wings a little bit oversized? Maybe that'll
I
help with some of that
don't know.
hawk felling or hawk dropping, that it drops the wings.
Wings look like the wings look like they're about proper for the size of the
For
fuselage.
the size, yeah.
Yeah, the wings look proper for the fuselage.
I didn't
It's
realize
just
how big of a
Are
bird that is.
those are the stabs full flying, or are they just elevator on the back?
They're full. They're full flying. Look, you'll see it here in a minute. They're about to fly that thing. Check it out. Look, man, that's a big bird.
It is a
Those
big
look like
plane.
full flying stabs.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah, I
interesting.
only saw a picture of this the other day.
Yeah, I saw it too. It kind of snuck up on me, but I like that version.
I mean, if you're into a balsa built airplane, solid balsa, then that's your plane.
Not balsa like that, man. I mean, yeah,
I know. Hey, I know. Jeremy's over there sounding like a turban snob.
Yeah. You can't
Oh
not
my
balsa
God.
like
I'm
that,
just
man.
no, I've just experienced balsa airplanes that
Yeah, you
fell
know.
at random
Yeah.
points.
You know what it is, Bobby? He's just
What?
worried about the fact that he's gonna crash it.
Oh, Jeremy doesn't crash. Right? Tell him, Jeremy. Say, you don't crash.
Oh, I crash all the time.
Dang it. Hey, look how easy that
Hey,
thing
I
sits
don't know.
down.
I don't know no pilot that don't crash.
Look how
Yeah,
easy that thing sits
That's
down.
how you know I'm an honest one.
That's it. That's it. But look how smooth that thing lands, guys. Now, my question is this. If they did this in the turbine, why didn't they just make a 90 millimeter on this size or like a 80 in that same scheme? That would have been great.
This is hanging out. Talking about getting e-flite.
Who's to say that they're not?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right about that.
So,
Oh, see, that's
that name too.
Did y'all see that? That's the pain in the rump right there. Look.
Oh, they're not full flying stabs. They're elevators.
Not full flying stabs.
Nope.
Elevator
That's
only.
it. That's the deal breaker right there. But you know what? It's not terrible. It's not a terrible thing. You get more stability out of that. It's not as touchy.
It works, right?
Yeah, it's not as touchy.
But
also
it takes away from the scale up.
Yeah. But I saw something. I saw something I didn't like.
I mean, honestly, to be completely honest, that is a Bayhawk.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't.
That's all that is a Bayhawk. That's all it is.
In a T-45 scheme.
That's all it is. Yep. Because when I didn't see the slats, I know
that right there. I don't like that, Bobby. Because I mean, you should have some quick connects for something that expensive.
Exactly. That's my biggest thing too, Will. Why aren't there quick connects?
You should have some quick connects for something that expensive.
If you're going to give me a custom bag or it comes with one, it doesn't. It's sold separately. You should at least have quick connects. I guess we can't have everything we want. That's the moral of that story.
True statement. There's so many things I want that if we can just get the manufacturers to make.
What's going on, Mark France? I'm over here jumping into the comments. What's going on, Mill Spec? He says, what's up from Michigan? Let's see here. Turned and burning. Yep. I'm looking at this. Stabilizer is fixed. Okay. Yep. He says they get old fast. That's true. But you know what, though, Jeremy? You bring up a good point, man. I do know the difference. There is a difference in rigidity with a carbon, not a carbon fiber, but a fiberglass airplane, I guess, right? You get a little bit more longevity out of it versus the wood. Because once you get that wood wet, boys and girls, it ain't pretty. You get a little fuel on that, it'll just suck it in.
You know, I don't have humidity, so I don't get balsa
flex or nothing.
Stretching as much, I guess, or
we get humidity like crazy over here. So, by the way, guys, we got 50 people in the room. Give us a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to the channel while you're in here. But that was pretty cool. So let me ask you, Jeremy, is that a pass for you or no for the T-45? I think that's a no.
Is that a pass for who?
For you, for the T-45, the Horizon Hobby one.
I wouldn't buy it. I mean, that's just me. I don't have any interest in balsa airplanes anymore.
What about you, Will? What you think, man? It's a good one for me. I'd get it.
If I had the money to spend for it, I'd get it.
Yeah. That's just a lot of money, man. $7 grand for that airplane.
It's a lot. It's a lot to dump into it.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary S says, yep, they did that for better stability at lower speeds. That's exactly it. Yep. William Lane says, some of my fastest planes have been made of wood. Depends on the way grains are ran, and especially with no carbon or aluminum tubes. Yeah. So, and also, I do know having carbon in airplanes is definitely not good for your radio signal, right? You want to run them satellites. Let's see. They had their chance with the Habu 80. I agree. And by the way, I got a Habu 80 coming for us to actually do a review. I was waiting for everybody to kind
Oh
of.
man, I did not do my homework. I apologize.
No.
I have been
Yeah, I
uberly
didn't.
busy with everything.
Let's see.
I didn't look
Jeremy,
into it.
did you guys do your homework on Express LRS? Nope, we didn't, man. Nope.
Like I said, I apologize, but man, it has been interesting. And again, I'm trying to get planes tested for you guys. So
I agree with
I've been
Jay.
busy.
I agree with Jay. Quick connects should be like a standard procedure now for the industry. I mean, I don't know. Josh Bunn, he's a big turbine guy. What do you think? He says wood planes burn better. So he's definitely not on board for that. I don't ever think I've even seen him fly a wood turbine airplane. I don't think if he even owns one or not. Sacramento Flyer, what's going on? He says, "Hey, I'm thinking about trying to get my props into the hobby. What should I start
For the
them on?"
longest time, people were scared about big foamy jets, and even the small foamy jets. I mean, if you look at the history of it, I mean, everything was balsa back when, right?
Yep.
And everything was nitro, and then people started getting foam airplanes, and foam airplanes problems, blah blah blah, and we went through the trial and error on there,
Yep.
and I just things are at composites now, and you got heavy duty foams and different densities, and I get it. This airplane that has balsa, but it also has carbon fiber strengthening on it. So I mean, maybe that'll be better, But again, to each their own. I'm sure it'll do great. I'm sure it's tested well, and I'm sure it flies well. I mean, you can see it flies well. So
right, yeah,
yeah, definitely. If that's your forte, then get it.
Sure. That's why this is a hobby. There's something for everybody out there. What you like, Jeremy, I might not like, and what Will likes, I might not like, and so that's what makes it awesome. But let's see, Red Alert. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
For me, I'm just stepping into the balsa land, so it's like I gotta give it some time before I can just run and be like, oh, okay, I bought one balsa jet. I'm gonna jump and fly composite. I gotta experience this also. So I would definitely.
I had balsa Corsairs and Mustangs and P-47s and all that stuff, and
I love my planes.
They were great until something happened, whether it be transporting hanger rash. Hanger rash is different in balsa. You can hit it going out your door, and you have no idea that you broke the structure on the inside until you go up in the air, and all of a sudden the airplane's spinning to the ground because you didn't know it broke.
Or you grabbed the wing wrong and you cracked a rib, right?
Yeah,
that's why you got to be extra careful.
That's true. Hey, look, sometimes you can't be careful with it, Will. Sometimes you got to manhandle it, dude. You got to manhandle it, dude. Will, you can't finesse everything.
Every time I moved my Viper in and out, I was extra cautious with that thing.
That's hilarious. I'm like, Will, you can't finesse everything, dude. Sometimes you got to be a little rough.
There are times where I'm just working so hard to try and not hit something, and I look, and then all of a sudden, you just hear it, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
And look, you gotta treat it like it's your main lady. You can't treat it like it's some side chick.
Hey, wait a minute now.
You gotta finesse it, man. You gotta make sure your hands are nice and soft.
But that's why they give you dessert next to the main course, Will. That's why you get the dessert with the entree.
Man, you better be careful, Bobby.
We're talking airplanes here. We're talking airplanes here. I don't know. Hey, look, what to not go down that road. Red Alert RC says, I like foam and composite jets. Not a fan of balsa, so that's cool. I will say the foam jets are really cool, really neat. I mean, it's a good balance.
3D airplanes actually go through some pretty intense stress.
Yeah.
So there's good stuff too. So I guess maybe I need to change my opinion. It's probably going to be a very good thing, but I just I'm done with my days of repairing balsa.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
pretty sure composite flies better than balsa. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. But it's like I said, it's just for me taking the steps. Like I noticed, I started with foam. I'm
Right.
flying from EDFs. I went to a composite EDF. I actually went from one Viper to the next Viper and noticed the difference in how much drag each one of them has. Like, even though the Viper 90 is probably faster than the Viper 120 due to size and weight alone, the power weight ratio, but the airframe on the Viper 90 does have more drag on it because it's foam. It's those little pieces of foam are just gonna pick up on every bit of drag in the air. So
That's not how that
get
works.
that. Yeah, man. Foam's gonna have more drag.
You're saying foam is gonna like grip the air more so than like
Yeah, especially when it popcorns, it's gonna grab the air more.
I don't know,
Hey,
man. I think
if
that
you're
could be.
flying and you got popcorn popping out, that's a treat for everyone.
That's right. Everybody likes
And
popcorn. Let's throw some butter on it.
but then that's
That's
just like I'm pretty sure the composite is gonna outfly the balsa because the composite is a lot more smoother.
I think it's a moot point when it gets down to that. Like you're talking about the difference of like a couple of miles an hour. I mean, I don't know.
I think personally that
That's
every
funny,
airplane is going to fly just a slight bit different no matter what. I mean,
that's true.
there's going to be composite airplanes that fly better than foam. There's going to be balsa that flies better than composite. There,
We do need to answer Sacramento Flyers question. He says, "Hey, I'm thinking
enjoy.
about trying to get
Oh
my
yeah,
pops into the
answer
hobby.
that.
What would I start him out on? Will, what would you start your pops out on in the hobby?"
Question is does he have any kind of experience?
That's the number one question, really. That's yeah.
If he has
From
no
zero
experience,
experience or a little bit of experience is a huge difference.
Yeah. So Sacramento, how much experience does he have? Does he have some, none, or a little bit?
I would say a Cub or either Aero Scout.
See,
Or
look, Dustin, he agreed with me. Bobby is correct. Air likes smooth surfaces. Turn one's eating popcorn right now. Of course he is.
Now he is.
Yeah.
Will's like popcorn, and he's like,
Yeah.
got it.
So what would you guys simply do?
I think the Apprentice.
Louis said the Aero Scout ready to fly or the Ranger. I don't think that's a bad
I'll say the Aero Scout. Aero Scout ready to fly is easy, man. I mean, I had no experience when I got that plane. Zero experience, and it is an easy flying plane. Like, of course, you're gonna get on the safe route, and then you eventually break away from that. But
Yeah.
you can learn the basics off of that Aero Scout. It's a push prop. It's triangle gear. You don't have to worry about if you come down, at too much of an angle, you're gonna break the prop because the prop is up high behind the thing. So, I mean, you break that prop, you obviously came in inverted. But if you did that on safe, somebody please let me know how you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like the Aero Scout. It's a great response, great airplane, and it's trained very a ton of people on there. My reasoning for why the Apprentice is because everybody idolizes the planes they see flying all the time.
Sure.
So the Apprentice, they look like a Cessna. And because they look like a Cessna, you're more motivated to try and fly and learn it like a Cessna. You're going to be excited about it. Or you may have already flown in a Cessna, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Aero Scout doesn't have any looks of anything that's semi-scale. So I like somebody said, the Ranger, that's also another one that looks like a Cessna type,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that people, when they're training, they want something that looks scale so they can fly at scale and enjoy it.
But
When
then
I
you
was
gotta think
learning,
about it
I
too,
did
Jeremy.
the
Somebody
mistakes.
coming in at the first time, they coming in for the first time. You got an Aero Scout that's priced $50 to $60 cheaper than an Apprentice.
Right.
So you got to look at that too. They're not going to want to dump a bunch of money in it when they see this one's $50, $60 cheaper than this one. Well, I'm gonna take my risk on this one because I put it in the air and I crash it. least I still got that $50-$60 difference that I, didn't put into the model.
That's another weighing point,
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many weighing points, because when it comes into that, I mean, if somebody goes and has like Bobby or myself or you at their side, right? Ideally, any of those airplanes, they're not going to crash it because it's got all of that technology to help prevent that,
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
So
people have a better
chance.
chance.
It is what it is. But if they're out there just starting on their own, you got a valid point. Nobody's out there teaching them. They're just
Bobby, that's true to a point because for Jeremy, it's easy. He can take out there. He can go out there. He's got open air. There's nothing around. We have trees.
Oh,
even with same technology,
that's a big factor there too.
A little bit of depth perception disorientation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. You're done. Even with safe, it's over. So it still would. It depends on where you're at. If you got nothing but open space, no poles, no nothing like how you have, you're good. You in an area like what me and Bobby got, where there's trees involved, and you got to think about all that too. So
Craig Bevan brings up a good point. He says back in the day, you had to learn to fly, and that's kind of where I came up. Like there was no AS3X, there was no gyros, there was none of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was doing a Firebird Scout, the little PVC plastic airplane with the boom tail and the little V tail on it.
I had the Firebird Stratos.
Oh yeah, is that the twin?
It was the twin prop one that was only elevator and rudder, and then the aileron effect was essentially thrust displacement. And I had a great time with that thing. Man, I wish I could find some of the videos from back when on that big.
That's funny. Look, Keith Dunn says Aero Scout looks lame. Get a Cub. That's funny. I can't. I agree with
Make your first airplane that you fly a free wing F-35.
Yeah.
Hey, so what I was saying earlier, Will, was about the people always want that glimmering fast plane or whatnot, right? I started, like I said, with the Firebird Stratos. My next plane was the Park Zone P-51. And I went through about 10 of them. Trying, because I call it warbirditis, right? I had to have a warbird. That was my goal, and I tried to get there as fast as I could, and it cost me a lot of money, but I did it. But that's what I mean. That's why I say The Apprentice, is because then people aren't jumping to that next plane as fast.
Right.
Because I did the same thing. I went from the Aero Scout, which, like you said, it's not a scale looking plane, but I felt like, okay, I've been flying this thing, and I think I could jump onto something else. And I went to the free wing F-35. Went through 3 of those jets.
Yep.
Never flew it. That's the thing. I never flew it. It got off the ground and it crashed. The next one, it got off the ground, rolled over, and it crashed. The third one, it got off the ground, it hit the ground, it bounced back up, it pedaled around a little bit, and then it crashed.
You sound like the Monty Python Holy Grail thing where he's talking about the castles. He's like, and they said you couldn't build in a swamp, and I built a castle and it sunk. And
that's funny. That's funny.
And then I built another and it sunk. but the third one.
That's so funny though. I'm reading the comments and people saying, it's funny, like those airplanes like the Falcon 56 and the Firebird, man, those are airplanes that, like, they bring you back to the beginning of like the hobby and when it was awesome and fun. I mean, it's so awesome and fun, but you know what I mean? It was like you're getting into this thing, and even flying those was super like nerve-wracking, and you were nervous and you didn't want to crash it and everything. So, it's
I think I'm gonna try and find my early flying, and maybe we'll show it next week or something like that.
Right.
Something funny, maybe we'll be able to show some of our
early
Will stuff, the roots. You know what I mean?
Look at this. Hey, Omaha Air Defense says, well, at least Pilot Will is consistent, LOL. And in turn one says, yeah, constantly crashing. Oh my God, man.
Man, they're digging
I
on
mean,
so
Dude, he
bad.
said my first plane I had was flying in a circle. Yeah, hanging on to a string. Dang, that's funny. And look, Omaha said, yeah, that's my point, turn right. Good God Almighty. They're chopping you up, Will. They are chopping you up.
those guys are chopping at nothing, man.
Hey, it's all in good fun, dude. Look, you know.
They're chopping at nothing. Hey, I've been without a crash for at least 8-9 months. So
Yeah,
probably
that's
longer than
true.
that, actually. Yeah, it's been
Until the
longer than that.
Viper. Until the Viper, what, 2 weeks ago?
I've had that Viper for over a year.
That's true.
So yeah,
Look, Josh Bunn said, bless his heart.
yeah. So
Hey, Bobby.
I like these guys.
Do you remember what we ended with the last show with? We were talking about that plane that landed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have that video?
Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I should have sent it to you.
Yeah, I can take a look at it. Let me see. I'll pull it up on my Facebook.
This is chaos, guys. This is what happened at Jets over Kentucky
Let me look.
last year.
Oh, yeah. Is this it?
You guys are all gonna be having fun with this one.
Let me see here. Nope, that's not it. I don't have it. No, I don't have it. Oh, no, you never sent it to me.
It was in where he said hi. It's right. Here, let's forward it back to you.
You see it in there? I don't see
Bobby,
it.
we can take it out and made in that Tomcat, man.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could, dude.
There, you should see it pop up in Messenger. Facebook Messenger.
That's the A10. Oh, that's the A10?
That's the video.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Guys, you got to watch this.
A little bit of backstory. What happened was I'm up with my T1A10. My buddy Jeff was up with his T1A10. We literally just had a great flight together. We just landed from right to left. We just taxied off. I had just barely got into the taxiway, and Jeff is now on his way back. And all of a sudden, we notice this. You can turn it up. There's no
Really?
There's no music.
And this is at an airport that they're flying at for the event. So this is an organized event. Look at all the tents. Okay.
This is the greatest jet event in the United States.
Somebody just said, what the hell? Look.
What the hell?
Look.
Look
down here.
Right over. Yep.
Wow! Hey, Marvin!
What happened?
This is James, one of our Banana Hobby team pilots.
Hold the camera up, James. Look at that.
Snap.
He literally landed where they're having this RC event. That is crazy.
So this is a closed runway.
And it's a closed runway.
Closed runway. X's marked out at the ends of the runway. NOTAMs out that this airport is closed.
So they did a notice to airmen.
You can see the ginormous circus tents all over on the taxiway and everything. The entire field is covered with this stuff.
And they got X's on both runways.
And there are airplanes in the air. There are jets in the air currently.
Yeah, I hear them.
Does he not see the 6 airplanes in the air? The people in the middle of the
6
runway.
airplanes in the air, and he came in to land.
And the people in the middle of the runway, I bet he was like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, there you go, guys. This is the type of chaos that can ensue when you're out at an event.
This is, I sure hope he had a nice alibi. I sure hope he was like, my engine was not working right.
He actually taxied, filled up with fuel, and left.
Those are the type of people right here that will hit something in the air and then they'll blame it on a drone.
So the air boss actually had calm on, radio and all that, and he did not squawk anything. He didn't even tell us he was landing or didn't even make an intention or any of that to us. So pretty interesting.
That's crazy, dude. That's wild. I'm jumping into the comments to see what's going on there.
call?
Richard said it must
yeah.
have been an emergency landing, and they're saying no, it's not. FAA probably definitely had a conversation with him.
We were not told of any kind of emergency anything. He filled up with fuel and he kept going back up to Oshkosh.
That's what
Jeez.
I'm saying. I bet he
Somebody's
had
like,
told-
did it guy keep his pilot's license? Gosh, who knows, man.
We don't know. We know that he went up to I had a buddy that was up at Oshkosh and actually found that airplane up there.
That's crazy.
So-
Josh Bunn says we had a crop duster land at Fort Fisher was it First in Flight one year. Same thing. That's crazy. People just not
absolute danger. So you know, as
Big
we're out
said,
there,
that's
we
a
got
big
spotters
RC
and all that
plane.
stuff. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a big one.
Jeez.
Well,
God.
Pickle Finger said that's a big RC plane.
It is,
Yeah,
dude. He ain't
so
kidding.
ultimately the whole hobby right there dodged a bullet. You know, that could have been a humongous incident that really would have been a hinder on both
I had
sides.
turbines in the air at the time, didn't y'all?
For sure.
Yeah,
Well, guys,
that would be bad.
There was
If we
at
got hit
least
by a
4 of them up there.
Well, check this out. We're going to move on to
Turbines are
this
missiles.
last bullet point. The new review, the Fans MiG-25 twin 64mm EDF, brought to you by BananaHobby.com. Finally got a review of that one out, man, and had RC Pilot Will out there on the camera. And let's take a look at it, dude. That's a really nice flying airplane, dude. I thought it was awesome. Take a look at this.
I have a blast with
it. I'm thinking about upgrading it to end runners. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, I guess I'll just jump into it, guys. This is.
Is it not?
I don't think it has. I think it has.
It wasn't.
I think it has outrunners.
It's outrunners.
But look,
compare it to the an 80mm jet.
Yeah, this is the 80mm, and this is the twin 64. They are about the same size. And Will was like, "Man, look at that!" And we put it on top, and it's of the same size. So it's essentially like an 80mm airplane, man.
Yeah,
yeah. It's and the best thing that it's got going for it is it's unique.
It's super unique, and that was one of the things why I wanted it. I put an SMC 4900 in there, and took that bad boy up. It's a really nice looking bird, guys. I like that. You just don't see a lot of them. And I've told you, Jeremy, a while. I've been wanting this airplane for a while, and finally, you know, I talked to Carrie and ended up getting it. So check out the towed out landing gear. I need to tow them in.
That is very interesting.
That's why I was having that weird oscillation.
Very functional.
All
right,
verify that you don't have one wheel tighter than the other on the axle.
I'll have to take a look. They're both like that.
It's a new pack, new airplane. This is a complete.
Mine had one axle too tight, so the wheel was kind of dragging, so that's why it was doing.
We're going to take off with no takeoff flaps. You ready?
A little dance like that. So
guys, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel.
Now check this thing out. It rotated really easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely should.
Plenty of power.
Wow. Very nice.
I was really impressed with that.
Up and away.
Very nice.
Yeah, I actually took that out
That's pretty powerful for some
2 weeks
64.
ago. I haven't flown mine in a minute. But had a blast with it.
That was a windy day. I took that thing up too, and look, I'm going to stick a gyro in it and really enjoy it, man.
But it doesn't care.
Really enjoy it. That was a windy day too for a maiden.
I mean, outrunners.
I think winds were gusting up like 15 miles an hour, which is, you know, a little above average for us out there.
Yeah.
But
so on the side of the fuselage, it's got a nub that hangs out.
Go for it.
And you want to try and make sure that your elevator's neutral point is directly kind of with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. This thing's already been flown.
Absolutely perfect.
I've got so many flights on this thing, probably like maybe 6 or so now.
We're gonna get it up there a little.
Yeah, I think if you put in runners in there, what you're going to end up doing is you're just going to get less time.
Kind of hard.
Yeah,
you may not gain much.
It flies perfectly fine on the outrunners, man. I mean, it's adequate power for sure. You can see it.
Go for it.
And I'm running SMCs on there, so I'm getting a little bit more punch out of it. So it's nothing. It doesn't need anything. It's perfect the way it is. And for the price, I think it's what, $329 or $339. You can't beat it.
See if we can't score a nice landing.
Yeah, Lionel.
Lionel,
yeah. I think everybody's seen that video.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were going to talk about that too. That video of that kid flying the F-35 in his neighborhood.
Pushing me right there.
No.
Let's see on
See,
that.
I asked you what was too windy for you to fly.
Yeah.
If I remember on that airplane, you want
Yeah, man.
You
Look at that.
want pretty good amount of elevator on that airplane.
Pushing me right there. Look at this thing. I came in hot. That was a tailwind, of course. First
you
landing.
definitely got to loosen them wheels.
That was fun. Look at those wheels, dude.
My gosh. All right.
You can definitely see they're towed in.
That little
Towed out.
Check your wheels and make sure they're not tight. I believe that's your cause.
No, they're not tight. They're not tight at all, actually. I spun them. You see how easy that thing's running on the grass? If they're tight, you'll know right off the bat.
Yeah, but
On the grass field.
a lot worse.
They're like so cushiony. They function so well.
Check it real quick.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And then I switched and I took out the SMC and put in a normal,
6S.
so
we're gonna take this one off,
SMC
and
battery,
see how this
just
one
regular
does. It's a
LiPo.
really good battery.
And then we
Has
rotated
no-
with that one. You can take a look at it and see the difference between the SMC, high voltage, and this one, and see the rotating.
All right, guys. I'm gonna start.
I noticed a
the
slight
clock
difference
up.
in
This time
power
we're
with
pushing
it.
out to 4 minutes.
So
Before
kind of
we had it set at 3 minutes. And
interesting. So let's see what that takeoff looks
All
like.
right, up and away. Here we go. Takeoff flaps. See how that looks.
It's such a good looking bird.
This also comes in two schemes, guys. It
Yep.
comes in a Russian scheme, and then this is also the Iraqi scheme.
Man, that's easy to get.
And again, look how easy that thing rotates.
Takeoff flaps.
Yeah, I wanted the Iraqi because you don't see it a lot, right? I thought it was cool.
Well, the last time we saw the MiG-25 was after they were unburying them in the sand.
And look at
Oh wow, yeah, you're right about that.
the air is much more stable than it was before.
You're right about that.
And we are cruising.
I want to.
around
Russia's
at
using
60%
some now
throttle,
in Ukraine. I'm
and
told.
it's handling.
Let's see here.
I love
Oh
that
man,
little
I hope
approach
they're
like
not.
that. Like some Top
Oh,
Gun type stuff.
no. But it's a good flying airplane, man. Yeah, we
Coming
did
down
get
the
down
line
pretty
with
low.
headwind,
Scrubbing the deck. I was feeling pretty good about that thing.
Scrub the deck with
really
that.
nice.
No, sir. I learned my lesson about scrubbing the deck. I've ruined too many
Oh, you did
EDF.
scrub the deck with that plane, didn't you?
Runway
I don't think so.
and flat.
No, you didn't. You did. It was something else you was flying. You scrubbed the deck.
That's
I don't know
landing
what
with
it was.
flat. Much
All right.
better.
Much better. Okay.
No, that's better.
But really good airplane, sips the
Yeah,
milliamps. I was getting like
It did really
4
nice,
minutes
man.
of flight out of that on a 5,000. Really unique airplane, guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was cool. If you haven't seen that video, jump on the channel and take a look at it because it's pretty sweet. But anyway,
It's a fun airplane that's different.
it definitely is. And also,
You're
this
into
is-
different. There's different.
This one is also, I showed it last time, but I got this one all together, and it's going to be all ready. And
Another
but this
Fly
one,
Fans airplane.
I put a gyro in this one, so I want to see how this one handles. And I'm going gyro crazy right now. I said it earlier, but man, I'm dropping gyros in a lot of stuff. Man, just having a good time, So.
I think the Foxbat is actually close to a Mach 3 airplane. It was supposed to be able to counter the SR-71.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that thing should naturally be pretty fast, is what you're saying. Naturally.
When are we selling the Iraqi scheme or the Russian scheme?
Oh, they're already selling it.
Louis, yeah, they're both on. They're on the website. They've been on there for about a year.
I think he's talking about the Griffin.
Oh, this one
I think he's talking about the Griffin.
Oh,
or the? I don't know. We'll let him answer that. Louis Motorsports. What do you? On the. So
He's
that
talking about
scheme
the
right there.
Dash 39.
Those are going to be on the container that's coming. So. Yep. So there should be 3 schemes on there. There's the Tiger scheme, there's the solid gray scheme, and then there's this one, the one that Bobby showed.
yeah. And I was pulling it up right here just to show you guys. Bananahobby.com, man, I'm telling you, good business, good guys, good folks over there. Obviously, Jeremy's in there. But yeah, they got them in stock too.
Yep.
$349 for that airplane, guys. In this day and age for a twin 64 millimeter, it's crazy. But this is the Iraqi.
Yeah, that's
this is the
before
Russian.
tariff prices, guys.
Yeah, this is the Russian version of it, and it's just it comes with all this armament too. I never put it on there though, but this is not a bad looking bird.
So it makes it more draggy, but it also makes it more. It has more lift. It's the craziest feeling that you're slower, but you can fly slower.
Is that
and
true?
float
Really?
longer.
It
Yeah,
feels like
it's-
that. I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, those are
I
my
like the Russian
pictures.
scheme.
I do too. It looks good. It's just a good looking. I don't know why somebody hasn't made a bigger one of these. And look, Jeremy, you took these pictures right there. Look at that. That's on Banana Hobby's website.
Yep.
Just a good looking bird, man. I don't know why somebody hasn't made like a twin 80 on that one and charge an arm and a leg for it, right? It's probably what's going to
I
happen.
think it's because it's so different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have the right customer that wants that. Just like the Griffin, you know, not everybody likes the Griffin's look.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what it is. I mean, there's the J10, right? I think that's the ugliest airplane I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
but you know, there's people that love it, you know. Just
And
is
if
what
you
it is.
look, William Lane says 64 millimeter F-14 Tomcat is $499, basically $500. Expensive. Yeah, it is for what it is, but you know, I guess whatever.
There's a Tomcat.
The 40, yeah, now that's one right there. You know, me and Will were out there at the field. We flew the one I got, and I'm trying to think about how to hand launch that thing, right? Like we were over there trying to figure that one out.
Like that.
Yeah, see how I was doing? Yeah, we were doing that. My hands aren't that big.
You just
Yeah, you got
put your
bigger
hands in there. You use your pinky to kind of support it.
Yeah, I tried that.
And then put AS3X safe on.
That's the key. There you go.
That's the key. You put the safe
key.
on, and you can hand launch that thing, and it's going to try and go nice and level. And then when you're ready, you can take it out and just enjoy it. So
Man.
I recommend the AS3X safe receivers on this. But that's how you throw it, just like that. And then,
oh man,
are your fingers going to go into the motors? They shouldn't, but I mean, I guess anybody can do it.
Good gosh. By the way, before we're starting to wind the show down, but Will, RC Pilot Will, what kind of airplane did you pick up, buddy? Did you want to tell the good folks?
Got
an F-22?
80 F-14.
Got a twin 80 F-14. So what is it all stock or what? What's going to happen with that?
Oh no, I already snatched those outrunners out and I stuck the end runners in it. It's got the version 2 end runners, not the version 3, but it's got version 2 end runners in there. So yeah, I'm doing ahead and did away with those outrunners. I wasn't even gonna take the chance with those things.
That should be pretty good then. We'll have to see how that one works out. Let's see. Oh,
yeah.
This guy.
I mean, we're gonna try to get it out there, mating it this weekend. Hopefully, if the weather holds up, we'll get out there and do a maiden flight.
Will, Omaha Air Defense says, "Hey, Will, did you ever reply to that guy calling you out on the MiG speed test?"
I actually did. He actually communicated over Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, we found out he wasn't being aggressive. He was actually just trying to be playful.
He wasn't being aggressive. He was just saying that, you know, he saw for the longest I had the highest speed on the SU-27. So he has the Super Supreme as well. So he just was saying that he got his to go faster. Now, granted, this guy is sitting at about 6,000 feet altitude. Me and Bobby are sitting at 327. So yeah, there's a big difference in density there. So
yeah,
that played a part in it as well. So I mean, I'm not gonna be able to pull a,
but also
140 miles an hour in that thing.
But also too,
always got wind, huh?
I said, but also people got to understand too is that like this isn't a race. Like we do the speed trials, we're not trying to find like we're not racing against other people. We're literally just pushing the airplane to as fast as we can get it, and that is what it is. And and we do it all stock. So that airplane he was doing wasn't all stock. That wasn't a stock setup.
No, it wasn't stock. He changed out the EDFs and motors and stuff like that. So
I told him I was proud of him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I told him the same thing. I said, man, hey, that's great. Like, I'm glad he did that. And he was able to get that kind of speed out of it, which, he was feeling like, the plane was very underpowered from out the box, which it is. The SU-30 powered box.
Hey, he's right. Omaha said he was looking for you like you were a blonde. He was. He went on the Facebook group and was like, is RC Pilot Will in this group? I was like, what in the
Yeah,
world?
Is this the
saw
guy
that.
with
I was
the
like,
J11?
Yeah, that was it. You saw it too. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I didn't
I
watch
went on
much of it. I
to.
just know that the guy was trying to make the thing as fast as you can, and that's great.
I mean,
Awesome,
exactly.
you know?
I'm like,
That's what this hobby's about, is trying to figure out where we can max things out
yeah,
or get optimal things, and then we share how we did it, you know?
yeah. But see, one thing about me and Will is we're not very competitive. Like we're not competing with anybody. I compete with myself. I could care less about what other people get speed wise and other channels. I don't care about any other channel. I don't even care about other people that run their channels. I like the people that are in the circle that that are trying to get where they're going. But some of these other guys at the bigger channels that like are trying to like compete with us and stuff, dude, I don't even care. I'm not even competing. I'll go ahead and tell you already won. Like I don't care. I'm just having fun, It's not one of those things.
Competition over, you won, let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, congratulations. Yeah, I don't it does nothing for me, I'm too busy trying to fly airplanes, put gyros and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the thing. This hobby's really lost a lot of it being a hobby, It's not a
Yeah.
competition out there, guys. Let's just have some
Yeah.
fun,
Have fun, relax.
Let's
Life's too
let's
short for you to
build each
worry.
other up instead of build each other down,
Yeah.
or break each other
Hey,
down.
And that's what it's
I
supposed to
got
be. But you've got people out there that got no good intentions. They're just scumbags, you know what I mean? So they're out
I
there.
got something that should make that F-14 pretty fun though, man. I put a mix in there. I did a program in there where, and I did this with my Twin 64 before it whatever happened to that servo decided that I had to fight it. Um, I'd have a auto wing sweep mode in it where when I get to a certain point in throttle, I'm like 80% between 75 to 80% and up, it will literally sweep the wings on its own at full throttle. So it'll sweep the wings on its own. It'll lock the ailerons so that they aren't working while the tail ailerons are working. And yeah, so it's gonna be pretty neat to watch, man. So I'm not gonna try it out on maiden flight on the 80. I already did it before on the Twin 64. I just never had it on camera. But that's gonna be pretty cool to see watching that thing fly. Then I push it full throttle and it just brings its wings back on its own. So
Nice. I'm excited to see you fly it, man. I want to see how it does. I'm really gonna be
So
excited.
I'm ready to
I'm gonna be
fly it.
I'm gonna be
So I
excited to
I
see
I
how you
crashed
land
one of
it.
these Tomcats with a wings back when I was going faster, but I just didn't have the altitude to pull out.
I want to see
So
how you land it,
I've
Will.
obliterated one too. So I'd be very. I don't know if
My
you've done that before, but I'd be very cautious on the maneuvers you're doing at the time that it's going to be transitioning. But
only thing I don't like about the F-14 is like
I'll
you don't have a
transition
lot
it
of
while going
do-overs.
straight.
You don't have a lot of do-overs with that F-14 when you come in because it's got a clearance like this. And so if you come in and you don't come in perfect, it will cartwheel. Get it?
Yeah, well,
Cartwheel.
it, it
But
cartwheel.
anyway,
when I flew
Oh well,
flew
I mean,
absolutely awesome. It just
oh,
didn't
they
I
are
land.
also
awesome. They're absolutely awesome.
I also threw the I threw some air brakes in there, so I'm canting the rudders too, so maybe to slow it down.
Hmm.
I got that in there as well. I was either gonna go with either that or go with full span flaps, and I decided to cant the rudders out. I don't know if I want to trust full span flaps just yet.
So I am excited to see how you do with it, Will, because with the twin 80s in there, my thing was it felt the one I had was like the V1, like the first generation, and it felt like it didn't have enough power. So I can't wait to see yours because honestly, that airplane on Motion RC is still affordable for what it is. It's still affordable. I'll tell you what's not affordable: the MiG-29s. They're not affordable. They're like in the upper sevens now. I'm like, good grief. But
Man, everything seems
everything,
to be going up, but
everything, yeah.
I don't think that we've increased anything. But
William Lane says you may not want to make wing sweep throttle based. You want to be able to choose. So
That's the thing. I can choose. I have it where I can choose, have it completely off, have it where I can turn it on when I want to turn it on. I also have it where I can have it throttle based. So I have it set up for all three ways. All three ways, they all lock the ailerons. The throttle base don't lock the ailerons until it knows it's sweeping the wings.
That's
So
smart.
keep the wings, that's when the ailerons will lock up. They won't do it. Other than that, the ailerons will continue to work like they should.
Well,
It's
one way or another, we want to see it.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
Show it
sweet.
Oh,
off. Let's see how it
that's gonna
does.
happen. And also this weekend, I've
I
got to fly that turbine F-86.
I spent 3.5 hours in programming alone on that jet. That's just the programming.
I
Seth
hate
Greenberg.
programming.
Seth Greenberg asked a question. He says, "Are the prices of planes more now with the China tariffs?" The answer is yes. I wouldn't even say the China. Yeah, I mean, it's just the dang tariffs at the dock, man. Everything's going
Depends
up.
where you're buying it at the moment.
That's true. At Banana Hobby, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
So far, we're not increasing yet.
The only thing that makes me wonder about that is I like Banana Hobby, and I don't want them to sell all their stock out and then not have any more stock in. You know what I mean? But a lot of companies are not buying anything right now or restocking because it doesn't make sense for them to. Like, why would you? Why would I restock and then have to pay this enormous tariff when I know it's not going to be a permanent thing, right? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, we are working on
Fingers crossed.
some containers, so
Fingers crossed. But anyway, look, guys, we've been going for an hour and 25 minutes. I started this show late, and now it's 10:20, and I have not had dinner. We got to get out of here, guys.
Me either. The pizza was just delivered.
Hey, look, see how what I'm doing for you. Great minds think alike. Look, you guys came to the rescue. I started the show late. I appreciate you guys coming in, and jumping on. Will, Jeremy, really appreciate you guys. Because look, man, I was gonna pull this thing by myself, dude. I thought it was old times back in the day, but you guys came in clutch and made it a great show. We had good people in here. We had over 50 some people in the show. So guys, certainly appreciate you guys always coming in here, hanging out with us. And I hope you guys enjoy the information that we're sharing. We have a lot of good information coming from Jeremy, RC Pilot Will, and I hope you enjoy the satire that we bring as well. If you ever have any questions or you would have any ideas or you're thinking of people who we should interview on the channel, I'm always open to that. You can always send me an email at rcplanereviewer@gmail.com. And if you got airplanes that you think that I should be reviewing, you can also email me that and or Facebook message me on that, and we'll take a look at it. But guys, Jeremy, you got anything?
Hopefully, we didn't offend anybody, but
no, man.
Fun.
Who would be offended? Everybody's got thick skin in this room, and if you don't, then you probably should leave. If you got thick skin and you don't like what's going on in here, unsubscribe to the channel. I'll do yourself a favor. Just kidding.
I'm not making fun of anybody for liking balsa.
Yeah, you hurt RC Pilot Will's feelings, and you hurt my feelings as well. Wiggle finger says I'm offended anyway. No, man, but you know what though? I will say this. It's good to hear that though, Jeremy, because a lot of people will be like, well, why don't you like it? Right. And so those are valid reasons, what you said, why people don't like
it's educational.
Exactly. Like I would have never known that until I've experienced it. Right. So it's good to hear these different opinions, man. They're always welcome on this channel. You know, always.
Make up some kind of reason to defend balsa.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Will's gonna go back and cry later. I'm gonna go cry on the shoulder too. But I will say this
later. We'll duke this out.
Yeah, we'll duke it out, right? But I will say that I do like balsa, like gas planes. I do like my gas planes balsa. So, but look, Mountain RC said honest opinions by honest reviewers, and that's what we're trying to do here, man. Just we got regular dudes here. By the way, our Mountain RC, we got to have you back on the channel too, man. We had fun with you last time. So in turn one, you got to be coming in here and quit playing hooky and eating popcorn and with your feet kicked up. So anyway,
Mountain, you missed out. I was out there on Saturday evening, I think is when it was. Had the C-17 out there for you to see, but we'll try again.
Man, I'm tired of you rubbing that C-17 in my face, man. I can't wait to get one. We got to get these tariffs out the way so I can get one.
Yes, we do.
My gosh, man.
Manufacturers are making the planes, just so you guys know. We're not postponing. Just so you know.
Nice.
Being made.
And that airplane behind you, man, you have 3 really awesome airplanes sitting there behind you. I cannot wait to see the videos on those. I've already seen the J-20 and the C-17, but I want to see that big boy up there.
Yep, got to work it. There's a lot going on with it. I'm not just throwing it together and flying. I'm looking at every little thing. That's why it's not finished yet, because it takes a little longer to make sure everything looks right. So,
man. Well, guys, hope y'all have a good night. It's time to punch out. We're going to have a good one. I'm going to go eat some food. And thanks for checking out the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe. And maybe next week, Turn One will quit eating popcorn and join the rest of the crew. All right.